Getting ready for Rutgers and Howard today from High Point Solutions Stadium as the Rutgers Scarlet Knights have their home opener this afternoon, looking to build off a Week 1 win at Tulane. And here's what's on tap today, the new head coach for the Rutgers Scarlet Knights, Kyle Flood.
Well, we talked about, very impressed with Kyle Flood, meeting with him this week. It's been a seamless transition. He's doing a great job.
And a man called Fleet, that's the head coach for Howard, that's Gary Harrell.
And he's also doing a great job. You know, a former Howard player also doing a phenomenal job at Howard.
And the new Nike Pro Combat uniforms in the red and the silver numbers, Reedy, also the silver helmet.
Well, I love looking at them, but we will say it's hard to see those numbers from the booth, but they're great-looking uniforms.
And there is Gary Harrell, the head coach for Howard, in his second season at 6-6.
And he was a phenomenal player when he was at Howard, has all kinds of records. He's in their Hall of Fame. I love when alumni come back and take over the program. It just gives them even more of a vested interest in the program.
And Kyle Flood, who came here in 2005, offensive line coach, and has worked his way up and just done an amazing job, really, taking over for Greg Schiano.
Well, I was going to say, you're reading my mind. Former offensive line coach, folks. That means he likes to pound the ball. Look for him to run right at Howard today. You love those former line coaches.
Rutgers 2-0 all-time versus Howard and 8-0 all-time versus the MEAC. And, of course, the heavy favorite here this afternoon. And beautiful day here in Piscataway, New Jersey. Partly sunny. We got a threat of rain, though, in the area. We'll see. Hopefully it holds off here.
Well, we hope it holds up, but right now it's absolutely beautiful.
81 degrees, 16-mile-an-hour wind, and, yeah, a little bit of clouds in the sky, but hopefully it holds off. Real sunny right now for this one and ready for the opening kick. And for Howard, it's going to be John Fleck to kick off. And back to return for Rutgers, Sam Bergen. Here's the kick. And into the end zone, it'll be a touchback. So 1st and 10 from the 25 to start for Rutgers.
I was going to say, right off the bat, we're going to see a new rule, a touchback off kickoffs this year. The ball will be spotted at the 25-yard line, not the 20. It'll be the 20-yard line for everything else, but for kickoffs, it'll be the 25-yard line.
And number 15, Gary Nova, the sophomore quarterback for Rutgers, battling with Chaz Dodd, who is the junior. Coach Kyle Flood said, you know, Nova's body of work just a little bit better in the preseason, naming the starter early enough to get those reps that you need as a QB.
Yeah, big, strong quarterback, 6'2", 225. Nova does a great job leading this offense, spreading the ball around. But as Coach Flood said, you know, Chaz Dodd is a good quarterback as well. But, boy, Nova just won the job out, and I expect him to do a good job today.
The two backs that you'll hear a lot today is Jawan Jamison and Savon Huggins. It'll be Jamison to start in the I formation set. And Jamison on first down gets up close to the 30, and a flag is down. Julian David on the tackle for Howard.
Personal foul. Hands to the face. Offense, number 72, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Todd LaPenta, our referee, and in the last game with Rutgers down at Tulane, there was a ton of penalties in that ballgame. A lot of them on Tulane. And Rutgers had a few themselves. Kyle Flood said, yeah, we got to clean that up.
Yeah, and that time the big left tackle, Caleb Johnson, got caught hands to the face. You know, those left tackles, they have great hands and great feet. They're used to punching on those pass sets. That time it was a run block. Caleb's got to get a little lower, get those hands away from the face because the umpire's looking for that, and they see hands to the face. Remember, player safety now is an emphasis. They are going to call that.
First down and 23 now at the 12. Back to Jamison. And fights across the 15 for a couple, and it'll bring up 2nd and long as Marcus Simpson on the tackle for Howard.
And good job by the Howard defense there. Jamison is a very patient runner. I love that out of a running back. On that stretch play, he was patient, looking for a good hole, and the defense did a good job.
Yeah, look who's down. Keith Pugh, number 13 in white for Howard, their star linebacker that we just talked about at the start, a preseason All-American.
Well, and he's vital to this team if they're going to slow down this Rutgers running attack. So hopefully he'll be back in this game because they really need Keith Pugh. And we're going to see it's just a stretch play. He cuts back, up the middle, and he's on the tackle there. Just looks like he might have took one in the midsection there. Hopefully he'll be all right. It's that, that vital section there in the middle. Hopefully he'll be okay and back in his game soon.
Pugh had 120 tackles last year for Howard, tops on the team. Second down 18, 3 wide receivers set for the Scarlet Knights. Nova tucks and runs. And he's going to be close to the first down at the 35, and he should have it. First down run by Nova. Julian David on the tackle, but not before Nova comes up with an 18-yard run in the first.
Boy, look, they spread the field. They tried to throw it. You're going to see right here, boy, look at that, the middle of the field, nothing but green. Nova, that's his experience. He does a good job. And you notice what he does at the end. He knows he's got 1 yard to get the first down. He turns into a running back. He tucks the ball away, and he gets the first down. Watch him here. It looked like he was going to slide. No, sir. He took a shot there, but out of college quarterbacks, I like that. Put the shoulder down, get the first job. Good job by Gary Nova on second and really long there.
The last season numbers where he started 5 games, played in 10 total for Rutgers, as they'll go back to the ground. And Jamison swallowed up for a loss in the play, -1.
Yeah, and good job. And it looks like Keith Pugh is back in the game. He ran that down from behind. A good job. Listen, these MEAC players, they have good speed. Rutgers got to understand, these players can run. So Jamison, although he has good patience, boy, when he sees that hole, Mike, he's got to hit it. You cannot dance around. You got to get north and south.
Second down 11 for Rutgers. From the shotgun now, Nova. Fires, intercepted, picked off by Julian David for Howard. And David gets inside the 30-yard line. 22-yard return for Julian David, the junior from Coral Springs, Florida.
And Howard couldn't write up any better. You're going to watch. Nova's got time in the pocket. He steps up. The ball just sails on him. It goes right over the receiver's head. Never had a chance for it. And David's just sitting back there in center field like a good free safety. Secures the ball, makes the catch, and boy, Howard's in great shape. And you see it just sails on him. Sometimes in the beginning of the game, that happens. You got to step into that throw. That fell on you.
He was looking for D.C. Jefferson, his tight end, Nova was, but Julian David with an interception. He had 2 last year for the Bison and has his first of this season here. And under center, the quarterback is Jamie Cunningham, and he'll hand off to Aquanius Freeman on the first carry of the game, and a flag is down.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense. Number 72. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Yeah, and so far, not a good start for Rutgers. And you're going to see clearly a face mask there. You got on it. As a defender, it's hard, but when you feel your hand slide on that mask, you got to come off of it. But 2 big personal fouls already for Rutgers, barely underway in this game.
So Cunningham, who was the freshman quarterback, the MEAC Rookie of the Week and the game MVP last week in the win over Morehouse, hands again to Freeman, and he'll lose yardage. Scott Vallone, number 94 in the tackle for Rutgers, the senior up front.
And you see the defensive tackle, Scott Vallone, get off the ball. And this is what Rutgers are known. It's great team defense. Look at them pursuit of the ball. They all get off blocks, which is very important, and they gang tackle. Good job by the Rutgers defense right there.
They'll bring in Jaron Brown at the running back spot in an offset I formation with Justin Duncan in front. Play action, Cunningham to the end zone. His receiver fell down. They're going to throw a flag. It's tight end David Wilson, the intended target. Another flag down on the play.
Well, you're going to see their feet definitely tangled up, and he definitely tripped them.
21. Automatic first down.
And if we take a look at it here, good play action fake by Cunningham. Takes a shot to the head. No flag there. That could have been called as well, but he does a good job. Stays with the throw. And you see the feet tangled up. Sometimes the officials let that go as incidental contact. That time they called it.
Lorenzo Waters, the guilty party there. And David Wilson, who caught a game-winning touchdown pass last week for Howard.
Well, and he had a step on him. He ran a corner route to the end of that, to the end zone there, and good job by the freshman Cunningham. to stay in there, get the throw off, and take the hit.
Now William Parker is the deep back as it's 1st and goal for Howard. Parker looking for the goal line, and he's just shy. William Parker, the true freshman from Stone Mountain, Georgia, almost had the first points of the day.
Yeah, and Parker does a good job. He gets behind his big offensive lineman. He tries to squeeze it in. But the most important thing is north and south. When you find a crease as a back boy, good footwork there by Parker. Looked like he was going to be down with a 2 or 3 yard loss. Does a good job getting it back to the goal line.
Darren Christie and Justin Duncan. It'll go to Duncan, and he loses yardage. What a tackle made by Rutgers' Jamal Merrill, number 37.
And I'm telling you right now, Mike, this Rutgers defense is so aggressive right here. You see him get to the ball. Boy, if offensive coordinator Ted White or Gary Harrell has a little play-action pass here, slip a tight end into the corner, I got a feeling he's going to be wide open. Let's see what they call here.
Yeah, you have to feel it's going to be very tough to run against this stout Rutgers defense that only gave up 8 rushing yards last week. It's a toss, it's a fumble, it's recovered by Rutgers. They're on top of it, they'll take over. Scott Malone on the recovery.
And Howard had a chance there, boy. You just can't turn the ball over. You're going to see it. It's a toss sweep to Parker. It looked like he started out going right first, came back, never had a handle on the ball, and that's just killer. Great job by Scott Malone. You see him. Parker actually went right first. I don't think that was designed that way. I think he got screwed up, realized that Cunningham reverse pivoted the other way and goes, oh boy, I got to get back to the left. Took his eyes off the ball and didn't secure it. Boy, great job by Rutgers, but just killer for Howard, especially when you're an FCS program on the road. If you can get points right off the bat and take a lead, that's a huge momentum thing, but it's all for naught.
Scott Malone with his 40th straight start today. That's most of any Big East player. And the senior from New York comes up with a huge fumble recovery. Rutgers back on offense at the 5. Nova's pass, low and incomplete. Intended for Karan Pratt. Let's take a look at our impact players this afternoon between Howard and Rutgers. And it starts with Jawan Jamison, their tailback.
Yeah, had a great week last week against Tulane. 18 rushes, 112 yards. Like I said, I love his patience. I love the way he finds the hole and he hits it north and south. He's a very good running back.
Second down, here is Jamison. With just a couple on the play. Keith Pugh on the tackle. And on the other side, it's Aquanius Freeman for Howard.
Another very good running back. You know, Freeman last week did really good work against Morehouse. He had 14 carries, 64 yards, caught a few passes or about 40 yards. He's a good all-purpose back. He will catch the ball out of the backfield, but he will run hard with it as well.
Injured player down right now. That's Batim Bajari, the center, the sophomore for Rutgers. A sophomore from Secaucus, New Jersey. 5th start in his career today. And that up front offensive line. Now they lost a few guys, but they've got some special ones back too.
Yeah, they're a big offensive line. They got to control the line of scrimmage. Now, right now, I'm going to tell you, Kyle Flood's going to tell his guys, let's take a deep breath, guys. You know, a lot of times, players from FBS schools, they think they're going to play an FCS school, and they think they're just going to roll them, you know, right from the beginning. You know, we saw the talk about Oklahoma State beating Savannah State. Let me tell you, these kids can play. They're scholarship athletes too, okay? There's good athletes at the FCS level. You look at guys that went on to Hall of Fame careers as NFL players, many of them played at the FCS level. You know, they're out here to show the world they can play too. Right now, Rutgers just needs to take a deep breath, regroup, and say, we need to play our brand of football.
Let's take a look back, see how Bajari got injured for Rutgers.
And we take a look at it here. Bajari, the center. It looks like you're going to see it right here. He gets rolled up on that right leg, right, and left leg. He actually got rolled up on both legs. Luckily, his leg, you saw his legs came out, so hopefully that prevented any serious injury. So hopefully Bajari's okay.
So they go with Matt McBride, the junior, in the backup center position for Rutgers now on 3rd and 9. Nova's pass deflected. Flags are down. Josh Jordan with the deflection, and let's get the call.
And he got hooked, Mike. I could see it from here in the booth. It's a very good call. It's going to be pass interference.
Pass interference. Defense number 23. Automatic first down.
Todd LaPenta's busy today, a referee.
Boy, the whole crew's busy, right? He looks good. He sounds good. But you're going to get a look at it here. He definitely hooked him. We're going to watch it. You're going to see the inside slant right there. Good job by the receiver. Jordan had him hooked with a left arm. Easy call for that side judge, looking right at it. Throws it in there. He did a good job knocking away with the right hand, although he got caught with his hand in the cookie jar, hooking him with that left arm.
Jordan, a transfer from Arizona State, a senior, call for the penalty. Makes it first down and 10 for Rutgers. Nova dumps it. Jamison. And spins to the 18. 5-yard pickup as Curtis Simmons on the tackle. Check it, that's Savon Huggins.
21 must go out for one play.
Well, you just heard it, Reedy. The helmet coming off, the new rule this year. You have to come off for one play.
Yeah, and we see it. If it comes off, you must come out for one play unless it comes off as a result of the penalty. It did not there. It came off. And the play, it stops. You know, it's player safety. I love this rule. These kids are not buckling their helmets up good enough, but they're going to start doing it, believe me.
The crazy thing is that we've seen a lot of helmets already early this season come off. And a first down run for Rutgers. 6-yard pickup by Huggins, who's giving Jamison a breather.
And I can tell you, Mike, last week, week 1 in the Big East, there were 6 games played. 12 helmets came off in those 6 games. None were the result of a penalty, so they're coming off. So I got a feeling as the season progresses, these head coaches are going to get to their equipment managers, trainers, and say, hey, listen, make sure these guys' helmets are on and secured, because sometimes you might have to come out at a vital time in the game. One play could mean a difference.
That's exactly right. First and 10, Rutgers at the 25, I formation set. Nova going deep and overthrown. Looking for Brandon Coleman. And Julian David was on coverage. You saw this guy yesterday. We both did inside of their training facility inside the bubble.
An absolute specimen. Brandon Coleman, he's 6'6". He goes about 220. I was looking at him lined up out wide, and I was standing next to Coach Kyle Flood. I said, there are tight ends in the country that would be jealous of his body. And he can run, stretch the field like that. This kid's going to be a great one, but he is a physical specimen. He will cause matchup problems all year once they get into the Big East because of his size.
And he's the big play guy. You saw him going deep. He had 6 touchdown catches last year. They averaged 50 yards. And back to the ground for 3. And Huggins, who is the sophomore from Jackson, New Jersey, played in 9 games last year, the 3rd leading rusher on this Rutgers team behind Jamison, and also Jeremy Deering, who's a wide receiver now who's out for this ball game. He's injured.
Yeah, few injuries, but luckily they're pretty deep at the wide receiver position is Rutgers, so there should be some guys that can fill in.
36% on 3rd down last year for Rutgers. And with 3rd and 7 here. Nova. On the out route, no flags intended for Mark Harrison, another big-time wide out at 6'3", 230, but it's 4th down.
Well, good job by the Howard defense there. They sent a blitz off the edge there. We're going to take a look at it here. Number 29 steps up to Carlos Knight, and it forced Nova to throw the ball just a little sooner than he wanted to, and the timing got screwed up. Good job by Howard. I like their aggressiveness on defense right now. It's causing problems for Rutgers.
Brandon Flanagan back to return the punt from Justin Dorner. And he'll wisely let it bounce to the 34, and that's where Howard will take over, 1st down and 10 after a 38-yard kick. No return, no score from Piscataway, New Jersey. Rutgers home opener. Back after this. Pack house today at High Point Solution Stadium. Howard and Rutgers, the home opener for the Scarlet Knights. Look at this crowd.
Oh, beautiful. And the thing I love, that's the student section, man. You love it when the students come out. So far, though, Rutgers really hasn't given them too much to cheer about, but what a great turnout for this first home game of the season.
10,000 strong in the student section for Rutgers. And now Howard back on offense after an early interception, but then they fumbled inside the 5-yard line on the second possession for Jamie Cunningham, the freshman quarterback from Greensboro, North Carolina. Parker gets the call and is dropped right at the line of scrimmage. No gain. You can see how this defense has done what they've done over the years. I saw an amazing stat this week. We talked about it, Rainey. 6 times since 2000, Rutgers has held a team to 10 yards rushing or less in a game.
Well, they're very fast and aggressive, and that's what you like about your defense. And they all like to get to the ball carrier and make a big hit.
It's again Parker, and no gain. Good play by Caleb Johnson for Rutgers, number 72. They might want to consider throwing the ball in the air this time.
Absolutely, and you think with Gary Harrell, Coach Harrell, boy, he might want to spread the field and at least go vertical with some receivers just to loosen up the secondary. I can tell you, all 11 of the Rutgers defenders are within about 6 yards of the ball. They drop back a safety a little bit there, but boy, they got a lot of guys in the quote-unquote box.
Pardon me, it was Isaac Holmes on the tackle for Rutgers on that second down play. Third down over the middle, incomplete. And they wanted Justin Boyd, the tight end. And Howard will punt.
Well, and Cunningham took a shot there. Good job by Rutgers. But I tell you what, Cunningham is a true freshman. What poise. He knows he's going to get hit. Watch this young man. He stands in there. He sticks the throw. He knows he's going to get hit. And the throw wasn't off by much. Boy, I'm very impressed so far with Jamie Cunningham and his poise in the pocket.
John Fleck to punt for Howard. Back to return, Mason Robinson. Robinson at the 25. It's a block, no flag. Robinson to the 35. And a 10-yard return after a 42-yard punt back to Rutgers as they get back on offense after this.
Do you owe?
Getting them started early at Rutgers here in their home opener as they take on Howard. Still no score, first quarter.
Look like some former to-be cheerleaders there.
That's
Rutgers.
right. Here's your top 20 or top 10 AP poll in week 2.
Well, of course, the story of last week was Alabama leapfrogging USC after that impressive win against Michigan.
Rutgers on offense from the 35, first down at 10, and this ball, is it behind the line of scrimmage? Yes, it's live, and it goes out at the 17, intended for Jamison, who's back in.
On the field is a backward pass, out of bounds, second down.
So it was a 16-yard loss on that play.
And that is a reviewable play, so we're going to take a look at it here. We're going to watch Nova. He's at the clearly a backwards pass. Very good call by the official, and good job by Jamison. He went at it because he knew it could have been a lateral, and it was. But, boy, what a huge backbreaker. Lose 16 yards there for Rutgers. Not the way they've wanted to start. They're looking a little lethargic so far on offense.
Yeah, making a 19-yard loss. Second and 29 coming up on 6 minutes, first quarter. And they'll go with 3 wide receivers at the top of your screen. And flags again. Delay of game.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
And right now, Gary Nova, he doesn't look like he's in sync. He's got to take a deep breath. He's got to huddle these guys up, and he's got to tell them, okay, guys, we'll start now. I'm the leader. I haven't been playing great the first couple of series, but let's do it right now, and let's get going. But if the quarterback gets going, the rest of the team will get going, and that falls on Gary Nova.
Jamison's in the backfield. Screen pass. But dropped on the spot is Tim Wright, incomplete.
No, he actually,
excuse me.
He actually caught it, Mike. His knee was down.
Right.
And it's a bad habit to get into if you're a receiver. We're going to look at it. The receiver, 81, Mark Harrison, throws a little low. His knee's clearly down, and it's a good job by the officiating crew. They saw his knee down, and they blew it dead right there.
So Tim Wright, and there's Harrison, the senior from Stratford, Connecticut. A couple of catches last week for him. He's a big play guy as well. 3 receivers on this set. 3rd and long, and Jamison will stay on his feet and go across the 30. Jamison down the sideline. Cuts it back. And he's inside the 25. 62-yard run as DeCarlos Knight finally brought him down.
Oh, absolutely great run by Jamison, electrifying. We're going to take a look at it. It's just a stretch play to the right. He picks up some good blocks. He does a good job squaring those shoulders up. He breaks the tackle and down the sideline. Look at it, he cuts back there, very nice. Ball secured. You see him break a tackle there. He does a great job. Gets down the sideline, then he cuts it back on the defender for a big gain.
Well, you wonder if they thought, well, it's kind of a busted series. Let's just keep it on the ground. They probably weren't expecting a 62-yard run. Another flag down as Rutgers has 1st and 10 inside the 25.
False start. Offense, number 66. 5-yard penalty. First down.
And we talked to Coach Kyle Flood, and he was very happy last week. They had a few penalties, but he said a few were on them. It wasn't that bad. Boy, that's just a momentum killer. You get a 62-yard run, you come back, you got momentum, false start. You just can't do it. And those are unforced penalties, those false starts. You can't do that.
That's the ones he was talking about that he hates, and he's writing it down, no doubt, to talk about that this week coming up. Harrison on the catch. Spinning, first down, Rutgers. Mark Harrison knocked out inside the 15.
And another big receiver. I talked about matchup problems. Harrison goes about 6'3", 230. I love how he makes the catch, and then he gives a nice stiff arm to the defensive back there. Watch it here. Just a quick pass out right there. Gets to the outside. Can we see that stiff arm? There it is. Good job by Harrison there. I love those extra yards after the catches. He puts a stiff arm on Josh Jordan, who only goes about 5'11", 180. So you see the size difference. That's a matchup problem right there for Howard.
He stepped out before he got the first. So 2nd down and 5 at the 19. Huggins, play action to him. Nova rolling. Nova. Incomplete, and the fans want a flag. No call. Karan Pratt, the intended target.
Well, Nova wanted to go underneath to the flat right away. We're going to take a look at it here. Good job. Good job by banging that fullback there, and then you see him. They got all 3 levels covered. Short, intermediate, and long. Good job by Howard. You just run. When that quarterback rolls out, boy, you run with your receivers. Very good defensive coverage there by Howard.
You're right. They had the fullback. They had the tight end, D.C. Jefferson. They had the wide receiver, Karan Pratt. Solid defense by Howard. 3rd and 5. Huggins on the carry. He has the first. And Savon Huggins, the sophomore, to the 10. First down.
Yeah, and it's 3rd and 6 there, and they have enough faith to run this ball off the left side, and Huggins does a good job. He gets his shoulders squared. I always talk about it. He runs behind his shoulders. He's got a good forward lean, and he picks up that first down. And now that offense line, that's when you start to control the line of scrimmage, when you start getting those 5, 6, 7-yard plays, and you just pound it at a smaller defensive line.
Well, it took a little while for Rutgers, but now 1st and goal at the 10. Huggins the deep back. Huggins for just a couple. Keith Pugh on the tackle, the senior from Orangeburg, South Carolina, who we talked about preseason All-American for Howard.
And I love Pugh there. Huggins is being patient, but all of a sudden, Pugh from the backside, look at him run it down. Hawkins from behind. He's a good linebacker. He's fast. That's why he had 120 tackles last year. 18 of them were behind the line of scrimmage. Boy, he's a good linebacker, and Howard is glad they got him back today.
Look at the yardage, 96 to -6 for Howard. From the 8, 2nd and goal. Pass is caught. D.C. Jefferson. Is he in? No signal, shy of the goal line. Couple of inches. The tight end with a catch.
Yeah, nice catch. D.C. Jefferson, a big target, 6'6", 250. Nova was a little high on that pass, too. I think he's a little excited. But he finds the big tight end. You see him go up and catch the ball with his hands. His knee, he reaches the ball out. The knee hits pretty close. It is reviewable. From that angle, though, it looked like it could have been the right call on the field.
And now they'll attend to Jefferson, the senior from Winter Haven.
And that's a quarterback's best friend, boy. A tight end that goes about 6'6", 250. And we'll take another look at it here. Jefferson does a good job. He secures the ball. He's getting upfield.
The previous play is under further review.
He reaches it. Now, he breaks the goal line, Mike, when he reaches it. The question's will come up to the review booth is, was his knee down, which it is there, but where was the ball? Are they going to have an indisputable angle that shows that the ball broke the goal line before the knee hit? That is what the booth's going to look. This is probably going to be our best look here. He's reaching the knees down.
It's pretty close.
Yeah, and I just, from that angle, I don't think it's indisputable where they can reverse it. You heard him say the call on the field was short of the goal line.
It is 3rd and goal for Rutgers as they attend to Jefferson.
And I think, no doubt, Kyle Flood is telling his offensive coordinator, Dave Brock, we have 2 downs here to get this.
And this could be bad for Rutgers, obviously any injury, but they're already without one of their tight ends in Paul Carazola, who's a junior from Pennsylvania. He was hurt last week, so he is in emergency use only, so you may see him, but probably not. And now D.C. Jefferson banged up on this catch.
And his knee's down, and it's reaching.
The ruling on the field stands.
Well, you said it.
Well, and you notice they said the ruling on the field stands. They didn't say confirmed. If they would have said confirmed, they would have indisputable evidence that the call on the field was 100% right. They said it stands, which means there wasn't enough evidence to overturn it one way or another. The call stands. It'll stay there.
And now Coach Flood wants to talk it over. They'll call a timeout, their first of this first half, with 3rd and goal from the inch line coming up. Rutgers with a 24-12 win at Tulane last weekend. Their next game at USF on Thursday night on ESPN at 7:30.
Yeah, big conference game next week. But let me tell you, they got to get through. They got to get through Howard first. I'm telling you, this FCS team has a lot of athletes, and they're not going to go away today. They're going to be in this thing to the end.
We talked to Coach Kyle Flood yesterday at this Rutgers program. He said the real change and when this thing started to take off full speed was thanks to this guy, Ray Rice.
A phenomenal player. I love Ray Rice. You know, a lot of guys used to say when Ray Rice, oh, he's too short, he's too small. Baloney. You see the career he had at Rutgers. It's phenomenal. And you see what he's doing in the NFL. He has a great lower center of gravity. I love that out of running backs. He finds his holes and he hits it. But just a phenomenal career. And he said, yeah, he changed the face of Rutgers. He put Rutgers on the map. A great player. And he's still doing it, Ray Rice.
Huggins is the tailback. They'll give it to him. Huggins is into the end zone. It's a touchdown. Rutgers on the board first.
And finally, the fans, the student section, have something to cheer about. Good drive there by Rutgers, and I love Coach Kyle Flood. He said, you know what? We're going to go right at you. They got a lot of big offensive linemen. They like to run the ball. Good job by Huggins there, putting his shoulders down and getting it. I always say you got to smell the end zone there. He did a good job.
And true freshman Kyle Federico adds the extra point. And Rutgers strikes first. Took them till 2:08 to go first quarter. But Savon Huggins, the sophomore from Jackson, New Jersey, has Rutgers on the board first.
Listen up, America!
Here's what happened in the first quarter. Rutgers finally with a big-time run. This is 3rd and long, Reedy.
Well, I love Jamison there, and even more important, I love the big right tackle, 76, R.J. Dill out in front, blocking for him. They needed that one big time, and the touchdown by Savon Huggins does a good job getting those shoulders square and getting across the goal line.
15 minutes in the books. Jamison with 3 carries, 67 yards. Huggins with the touchdown run, and look at the total yardage. Just 1 for the Howard Bison, 113 for Rutgers.
But yet they're still in this ball game, Mike, only down 7-0, and they got the ball pretty good field position here and see if they can get something going this drive.
From High Point Solutions Stadium in Piscataway, New Jersey, start of the second quarter. Howard with 1st and 10 at the 27. 3 wide receivers set for the freshman Cunningham. Pressure, the blitz, he's sacked. An 11-yard loss on the play.
And a good job, just a blitz up the middle. The left side of the Howard line went left, and boy, right up the middle, you see the sack there by number 45. Kevin Snyder does a great job for Rutgers, securing the quarterback for the sack.
Snyder, the backup linebacker from Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, the sophomore, and a big-time loss for Parker now on the ground. Trying to get back some of that yards lost. Darius Hamilton on the tackle for Rutgers, just a 3-yard gain for number 3.
Yeah, and right now Rutgers, boy, it looks like they're going to pin their ears back and come after Howard. They want to pin him down here and start making this a game of field position and trying to wear him out. They got him 3rd and long here. This is a chance for Rutgers either go after him or drop back in coverage to see if they can pick a ball off from Jamie Cunningham.
3 receivers, Cunningham, 3rd and 18, pressure again. And it's picked off. Intercepted. And Rutgers takes over on the pick by Brandon Jones.
But it's going to be for naught, Mike.
Flag
It's going to
down.
be. It looks like it's going to be an offsides that will negate that interception.
Offside. Defense. Number 13. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
You're absolutely right. That was huge. How many penalties so far in this ball game for Rutgers? It's been damaging.
An absolutely killer. You see 2 guys actually there, and they did just what they wanted to do. They dropped in full coverage. They forced Cunningham, the freshman, to throw into double coverage. They picked it off, but it's all for naught.
3rd and 13. The draw, Parker. And he'll be spun down. The ball's out. It's a fumble. And Howard back on top of it. Kasheem Green knocked it loose for Rutgers, and big number 62 Joshua Matthews recovers for Howard.
And did you see that? I love the umpire, Greg Brenner. He was in the pile as well. He's laying on his back. It's hats off. Everyone goes in those piles. It's great.
You got to get down there, figure out
You
what
got to
happened.
get down there.
Snyder on that big sack is what put Howard in this position. John Fleck gets his punt blocked, and it's picked up and run in for a touchdown. Touchdown by Brandon Jones.
And we talked to Coach Kyle Flood yesterday, and he said they were going to go after the punter here. You're going to see it at the top of your picture. They beat the outside rush. Does a great job. He doesn't dive to rough him. He stays on his feet. That's how you're taught. Put those hands together. He does a great job. He took the ball off the punter's foot, and you see his teammates scoop it up for the easy score. Brandon Jones, great job by Rutgers.
And they went for 2, and it's incomplete. So Rutgers, with the blocked punt, the touchdown, and the failed 2-point conversion, now lead it 13-0. Has made their name on defense.
Well, they're a swarming, aggressive defense. You see here, Howard had a 1st and goal, and they stopped them. You love how many red shirts you see to the ball. And right there, you see him flying to the ball. Jamal Merrill comes off the edge for the big hit. And here, they get to the quarterback, Kevin Snyder, right off the gut. Sacks Cunningham. And then the block punt off the edge. Great job by Miles Schuler. Brandon Jones scoops it up, and that's what special teams and defense work tandem.
And Rob Smith, who's in his 1st year as the defensive coordinator, 4th year at Rutgers, was the special teams coordinator before, and he's done an amazing job.
And he's got 8 returning starters to this Rutgers defense. Boy, he's got a lot of great players to work with. What a beautiful thing that is, Rob Smith.
Aquanius Freeman on the carry for Howard for just about 1 yard on 1st down. Kasheem Green on the tackle for Rutgers. And you know what? You look at what they did last week. As you see head coach Gary Harrell for Howard trying to figure out what his team can do to get some yards going, and it's going to be very tough because Tulane last week only 8 yards rushing on the ground. Rainey Angolia on 16 attempts.
And as a former running back, that gives me chills because I don't like hearing that. But this defense is aggressive. Do a great job getting to the ball.
Freeman on the delay, and again, not much. And Boharness came up to make the initial tackle. It'll be a 2-yard gain 3rd and long on the way.
And that's the draw play I talked about, the screens and the draws. You're going to see a draw here. It's a slip draw. He starts to the left, comes back to the right. But the Rutgers defense is so fast, it looks like there's a hole. Now you see me, now you don't. Boy, that door gets shut. This defense flies to the football. They won't see this speed in the MEAC either, Mike, let me tell you.
No, they will not. 3 receiver set, 3rd and 9, Cunningham. Pressure. Flushes him right, he just has to throw it away to his sideline. 4th down, punt formation coming up.
And good job by Cunningham. He rolls out of the pocket. He's well outside the tackle box. He throws the ball away, gets it past the line of scrimmage. Good job by the young quarterback, but he's back there running for his life.
First quarter, you talk about what Howard had, what they were able to do to kind of stay in this ball game. Rutgers will wear you down. That's what happens.
Well, I think, really, Rutgers came out a little stagnant. I think Howard came out more up for this game, but as this game has started going here, Rutgers has woken up. There's no doubt about it.
Flack gets his punt deflected again. And Rutgers is going to have amazing field position at the 33-yard line. And that's Wayne Warren, number 27. I think they got a piece of it.
And this time they come right up the middle, and Coach Kyle Flood told us they will go after the punter every time. They saw something on film that they like. They like their aggressiveness, and boy, they get a piece of the ball. It's not going to go down as a block. The ball went past the line of scrimmage, so it's going to be a punt, a short punt at that, but a great job by the Rutgers special teams.
Well, it's Wayne Warren and Karan Pratt. They had 2 of them right there, 27 and 7 respectively, as you see. Awesome.
Well, they're looking at each other and saying, I thought you were going to get it. No, I thought you were going to get it. They both got a piece of it, but a great job by Rutgers special teams.
And Rutgers goes to the ground to Huggins, who is shut down by Ibrahima Kebe.
And that time Huggins, I think if he keeps his eyes up a little more, he can plant that left foot on that stretch left, and he had something on the back side there. When you have fast defenses that over pursue, if you're a running back with good vision, boy, you will pop one out the backside and you will be off to the races. Let's look for that later in the game, because I think that's going to happen for these Rutgers running backs.
Nova now goes from the shotgun on 2nd and 9. Going over the middle. This is caught, and it's going to be a touchdown. Count it for Brandon Coleman. .32-yard strike.
Oh, Coleman, we talked about him earlier today, the big receiver, 6'6", 220. Runs right down the seam. It's a cover 2. He's got 2 defenders on either side of him, and he splits them, and Nova throws a strike to the big receiver for a touchdown.
And they muff the extra point. Federico has to get on top of it. Julian David created some traffic for Howard. And so Rutgers, who has failed on a 2-point conversion and now an extra point, but they'll take it, 19-0.
Well, you're going to see it again. Nova throws a strike to Coleman for the big 6. And Rutgers is up 19-0. We'll be back in a moment.
Rutgers on top, 19-0 over Howard. Was sunshine to start the game, and now you see a little cloud cover moving in as Radian Goya's got his rain gear out here.
Well, I'll be the meteorologist here, boy. You just hope it's a cell that can kind of scoot around us. Yeah. I don't know. We'll find out here in the next hour or so.
Scoot around.
Scoot around, please.
Midway through the second quarter, as a 32-yard touchdown pass caught by Brandon Coleman, the latest score for the Rutgers Scarlet Knights in their home opener. That's going to drop his average down on touchdown receptions. He had 6 last year, averaged 50.6.
Yeah, you think he went to the bench and said, man, you guys ruined my average. No, great job there. Good recognition by the Rutgers offense. Howard was in a cover 2. Coleman splits the seam, and Nova threw a strike to him. Great offensive play that time by Rutgers.
And that's William Parker back to return for Howard. And Kyle Flood is out to talk to his kicker here. That's Anthony DePaula, who's on the kickoffs. Did he call timeout? Looks like he took
did.
a timeout.
He absolutely did. And I can tell you, I've never seen a coach call a timeout like that, and he was furious with one of his members of the special teams, whether it was a kicker or not. But you know he was mad if he burned a timeout right before they were about to kick off. Not happy is Kyle Flood.
Well, watch this. Watch Kyle Flood coming right out the 25 at the top of your screen.
Yeah, not happy. He did not like something. You see him barking there. He's yelling at someone, and now he says, the heck with it. I'm going to call a timeout, and I'll really get in his ear.
Parker from the 9 for Howard. And up across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Brought down by T.J. Johnson. 24-yard return. As we take a look at what Rutgers has coming in. The number 24th ranked recruiting class according to ESPN.com.
Well, Rutgers is doing a great job. They're one of the best in the Big East. And you see the ATH there, folks. That stands for athlete. Boy, Rutgers and a lot of programs, they love those guys because once they get them into their program, they can play them in a bunch of different positions, offense, defense. But a lot of top quality recruits coming to Rutgers. And these facilities, for one thing, are amazing. And that helps get these recruits in here.
See that? 0.2 yards per play today for the Howard Bison. Freeman trying to change that. Does across the 45. Has a first down to the 47. 14-yard run. Probably one of their best offensive plays, if not the best, of this ball game so far.
Well, it was. It was one of those little delayed runs, the little handoff up the middle, the delayed draw. Good hole that time. Freeman shows good speed to get it up the middle, north and south, and pick up a first down, a much-needed first down for Howard.
He goes out. William Parker's back in on a 3-wide receiver set for the Bison at their own 47. Flags down. Cunningham. Pass is intercepted. And we'll see if it stands. Picked off by Duron Harmon for Rutgers.
And it looks like it's going to be offsides once again, Mike.
Offside. Defense. Number 91. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Well, Cunningham is obviously doing something with his cadence because, boy, they are jumping a lot. And I like Cunningham there. He knows he's got offsides here. You're going to see it right side and underneath. Merrill as well. Cunningham knows he's got a free play. He launches it up. It gets picked off, but it's coming back.
Kyle Flood's a nice guy, but I don't want to be in that locker room at halftime. Probably a little bit out of character for him, the way his team has created penalties all over the field as Parker gets the call for Howard on 1st and 5. I mean, those are a lot of unforced errors, and it's week 2.
Well, absolutely. The offsides and the false starts are unforced penalties, meaning that, you know, your opponent did nothing to make you do it. And the thing is, as great as their defense is playing, these penalties are keeping some drives alive for Howard. And like you said, Kyle Flood is going to be very upset with 8 penalties already with 5:45 left in the half.
2nd down 5. Brandon Flanagan in motion. And this pass well off the mark, and we have another flag. Yep, that's going to be a late hit. Jonathan Booker got decked after the play, the intended wide receiver.
After the play, personal foul. Defense, number 20. Necessary roughness. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
And you don't see that a lot. That's from the leader, Kasheem Green.
Well, Kasheem Green, he knows better than that. You know, the pass was clearly incomplete, and a second later he really puts a lick on the receiver, and you just can't do that. Folks, remember, there's an emphasis now on player safety. If the play's completely over, they're going to protect the receiver. We're going to take a look at it here. There's the pass. The player's done. He's over with, and Green has to stop. And it was a little high, too. You can almost go helmet to helmet there. They're going to side with the offensive player there every time.
That's an easy one. William Parker, and upended on the play by Khalil Glaude of Rutgers.
And let me say also, Kasheem Green, nothing cheap there. You know, he just took a step. He should have just laid off one, but it's not cheap. It's hard for those defenders, especially as good as Green, when you're coming like a bullet. It's a good penalty, but nothing cheap, you know.
Coming up on 5 minutes to go, first half. Howard in their best offensive drive in this ball game thus far. Pressure, Cunningham lost it. And in the backfield in a hurry that time.
They're just so fast at the defensive positions. They're like bullets. Cunningham tries to throw a ball away. That is risky because that looked like it could have popped out to be a fumble. He got away with it that time with the incomplete pass to prevent the sack. But boy, they are coming at him fast and furious.
Green again in on the play for Rutgers. 3rd and 10. 3rd and 11. Crowd starting to get into it here at High Point Solution Stadium. Bunch formation at the bottom of your screen. 3 wideouts for the Bison. And the dump-off pass is incomplete. They wanted Freeman. And Khalil Glaude with pressure again in the face of Cunningham.
Yeah, and they tried to set that little slip screen up to Freeman, but the pressure came so quick, I think it screwed the play up, messed the play up. So I think he tried to slip it to him a little quicker than normal, and it just messed the play completely up with its timing.
It's punt time. Mason Robinson back to return, and this is a guy that's going to have a little bit of pressure in his face once again. John Fleck, the freshman. They've been coming after him. They already blocked 1. This time, bounces it inside the 10. And it'll be down at the 8-yard line. So Rutgers will start with this drive deep in their own territory. Today, Rutgers honoring, and for the season on their helmet, FRB, Frank Robert Burns, remembering one of the all-time greats here who passed away on July 14th this year.
Well, he's the all-time winningest coach in history, and you love to see the former players come back as you see his record there. Most wins in school history was 78, and these players today just honoring him, honoring his memory. Really a great face in this Rutgers history. Coach Burns did a great job keeping this program moving forward, instrumental to getting the program to where it is today in national prominence.
Frank Robert Burns, who's a member of the Rutgers Athletic Hall of Fame and the New Jersey Athletic Hall of Fame, the former coach of the Scarlet Knights. Pass incomplete, intended for Karan Pratt. With 4:38 to go first half, Rutgers on top 19-0 over Howard, and an injured player down for the Bison at the 5-yard line. To see what Howard has done today, and Rutgers with 123 yards of offense to the 17, but the 9 big penalties of 81 yards.
Yeah, I was going to say everything looks great for Rutgers so far. 6 drives, 123 yards, but those 9 penalties for 81 yards are not going to make Coach Flood happy at all. You know, the last possession, Howard picked up some positive yards, so they have something to build on here. You just hope they can get to the locker room. If you're Coach Harrell, keep it right here. Do not let Rutgers go down to score. You get into the locker room only down by 19, and you feel okay about yourself.
The injured player is Ibrahima Kebe, who is a junior from Washington, D.C., and he is the starting defensive tackle. And he's shaken up. Oh, boy, look at that.
Well, we can only hope it holds off for another half. That's all I can say.
I don't know about that. It's pretty close.
Yeah, well, you got me. Hopefully it'll just kind of
Meteorologist,
skirt us.
Meridian Golia.
That's my 3rd career, meteorologist. So, they always get it wrong, too. So I'm going to say it's going to miss us, and we'll see how I do.
Okay. It's good to see Kebe up and getting off the field on his own power. You're a detective, a broadcaster, and now you want to predict the weather.
Although I have no degrees in meteorology, so nothing official.
Let's set it straight. 2nd and 10, Rutgers across the 5. And it's Jamison spinning as another flag is down. This one, though, looks to be on Howard as the preliminary indication offsides.
Howard wants to join the offside party.
Sure.
Rutgers had too many now.
Defense, number 94, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
It's on Alfonso Beal, the senior defensive end. Four and a half to go first half.
Yeah, and Rutgers would like to put a nice drive here. Gary Nova would like to take him down, get some points, whether it's a field goal or a touchdown. Get some points, really end the half on a high note.
Nova hands to Jamison. Another flag. What else is new? Jamison across the 20, 25 to the sideline. Has a first down, but we'll wait and see. Keith Pugh on the tackle for Howard.
Personal foul. Leg whip. Offense. Number 75. After this is to the goal. Second down.
Unfortunately for Rutgers, they have the amount of penalties that would be ugly looking for an entire game right now here in the second quarter.
That's another big one. That leg whip is a personal foul. It's going to be half the distance, and they're just backing them up. But just uncanny how many penalties Rutgers has had in this first half. And I sound like a broken record, but boy, Kyle Flood is going to get after them in the locker room at halftime, no doubt about it. And it nullified a nice first down run as well.
Mm-hmm. Instead, it makes it 2nd and 11. 3 receivers on the bottom of your screen. Nova from the end zone. Dumps it off the right, and will get knocked down at the 15. That's Tim Wright, one of the captains, a senior. He had 3 catches last week. And last year, over 300 yards receiving and a touchdown catch in his sophomore season, the second leading receiver.
But good coverage on the secondary there by Howard. He had a lot of time. He rolled to the left, but everyone was covered downfield. He dumps it off to Tim Wright as we're going to take a look at it. And Wright does a good job getting upfield, but he gets forced out of the pocket, dumps it down to Wright. Wright does a good job, gets that ball in the outside hand, little stiff arm there, and almost picks up the first down.
3rd down and 2. Jamison across the 25. What do you think, folks? Another flag is on the field.
What's even money that it's offsides? I'm just guessing. I don't
Offside. Defense, number 94. Penalty is declined. Result of the play, first down.
And Gary Harrell, I'm sure, will have some choice words at halftime for his team as well.
And I like the run by Jamison. That's where he kind of took it back door there. A little cutback on that stretch play to pick up the first down there. Nice run.
Harrell known as the Flea, but it's going to be a little bit more than that.
It's going to be a little louder than a flea at halftime. A hawk or something.
From the 21, Nova has his man, that's Harrison. And he gets up to the 29-yard line, a couple yards shy of the first down, to Brian Resby on the tackle for Howard as we approach the 2.5-minute mark in the second quarter.
Yeah, and I like those passes like that, especially when you have big wide receivers. It's like an extended handoff. Boy, easy throw for Nova, nice easy catch. They get up and they pick up 7-8 yards on first down. That's a very nice play.
Let's not forget what Rutgers lost last year in terms of the wide receiver, Mohamed Sanu, who's with the Bengals now, had 115 catches last year. Nova going deep, but 2nd and short, and just overthrown for Coleman. Curtis Simmons on coverage for Howard. Sanu, 13 starts, 13 games last year, over 1,200 yards receiving.
Well, I mean, Sanu, let's just put it in context. He broke records here at Rutgers that were set by Kenny Britt, and he broke Big East records that were set by Larry Fitzgerald, 2 of the best receivers in the NFL today. And that should tell you all you need to know about Mohamed Sanu.
And the 2 guys that we just saw, Mark Harrison and Brandon Coleman, are 2 special players that Rutgers really likes. What you don't like is what you see in the sky. So we'll see how much longer we'll be continuing here. 3rd down and 2. Rutgers on the catch. It's D.C. Jefferson. The tight end has the first at the 34.
And it's great to see D.C. Jefferson back in the game. We saw him leave with a lower body injury, and he's a big target, and that's what you want to do on that short yardage. Boy, you pick up that big tight end. He does a good job getting it upfield, picking up the first down.
Under 2 minutes to go in the half. From the 34. Nova gets to the right and is pushed out at the 41-yard line. Curtis Simmons, it's an 8-yard reception for Tim Wright.
And Tim Wright shows you his speed, and Tim's one of the smaller receivers at 6'4", 220. Good job there. I like how Nova scanned the field there. He had a lot of time. The offensive line did a good job. He scanned the field, and he got it to Wright for a nice pickup on first down.
Also in his first season as the offensive coordinator, Dave Brock, who has spent some time at Boston College along with Kansas State, UNC, Temple, and was at Hofstra way back with Kyle Flood, the head coach back in the day. as they get the offense going. This pass dropped by Wright over the middle, as it's starting to get a little chilly here as the wind blows and the rain is about to come down. The fans are heading for cover right now here in Piscataway.
That was a great throw by Gary Nova. Wright cleared the zone. He was in the open spot of the zone. I know if you asked Tim Wright, hey, I should have caught that, he's gonna agree. He should have caught that. That was a good throw by Nova in the zone. That's one that Wright has to catch.
Third down and 2, Rutgers at the 42. It goes to Harrison. Tries to get away and will finally be brought down on the sideline. He's going to be shy, as that was Julian David that made the tackle to save a first down reception.
And a great job. Harrison thought he was going to be able to break free and get that first down, but a great job to come up and make the tackle and hold on and stop them on third down.
Wind is really picking up at High Point Solutions Stadium at Rutgers as they lead it 19-0, just 52 seconds and ticking, and a timeout taken by Howard.
Maybe all this wind's just going to blow the storm away, or maybe not. I don't know. I'm getting hit with debris in the booth, though. I can tell you that right now. I'm getting pelt.
Yes, just watch out. Mike Corey alongside former All-American running back from UMass, Rini Ngolia. Happy to have you with us today, as the temperature was 81 degrees and now the wind picking up at over 20 miles an hour, and strong storms, as you obviously see, are in the area here. Rutgers has over 100 yards rushing today, now 100 yards plus in 5 of their last 6 games. And on the flip side, defensively, they are really holding the opponents down. Tulane last week and Howard so far this week.
Well, and their special teams has been pretty good today, too. It's really just the penalties that have been so glaring against Rutgers today.
Justin Dorner gets it away. It's Brandon Flanagan who's going to let it go, and it'll go into the end zone for a touchback.
I think that punt got caught in the jet stream there.
That's right.
And it took it into the end zone. And in all seriousness for us, it's really the thing that we have to be aware of for the fans and for the players is lightning. You know, these stadiums have monitors, they have meteorologists on site, not me, real ones,
right?
That'll tell you where the lightning is, what kind of storm it is, and they'll decide what's going to go on in this game.
And Rutgers will take a knee and head into the locker room at halftime. Or excuse me, Howard.
I know what you meant, Mike.
Cooper in the knee.
19-0. As we remind you, coming up at the half on our Big East halftime report, we'll go to Matt Stinscomb and Matt Schick in the studio for their weekly 4-down segment. Take a look at the Big East scoreboard, and we'll have first half stats and highlights all coming up at the half on the Big East halftime report, so stay tuned for that. 10 seconds to wind down in this first half, as Rutgers scored 3 touchdowns in the first half. They failed on a 2-point conversion try, missed an extra point. We've set it a lot of penalties so far in the first half, but Coach Kyle Flood says we'll take it. Up 19-0 at halftime. Their defense has been stellar, and that'll take us to the break. Big East halftime report on the other side of this, as Rutgers leads Howard 19-0 at halftime from Piscataway, New Jersey. We'll be back. Stay where you are. Rutgers on top 19-0 over Howard, but what's most encouraging is the progress made by that guy, Eric LeGrand, the Rutgers defensive tackle from a couple years ago.
Well, great player. We all know what happened to him in 2010, running down on that kickoff against Army. Just a phenomenal young man. His progress has been great. You know, and he said he's going to walk in. He's going to go to that field in New York where it happened, and he's going to get up from the 50-yard line and walk off the field. And that's just, he's a tremendous young man, and you know he's going to do it. You just, you feel for him. He wants to be an analyst. He's working for the Rutgers radio network. He's doing a great job. You see him there. And to his left was actually Ray Lucas, another Rutgers star, and just a phenomenal young man, and he's doing great things to help not only himself but a ton of people.
Yeah, and Greg Schiano made him a Buccaneers honorary team member down in Tampa Bay. The new head coach of the Bucs, a former coach of Rutgers, Greg Schiano, and that was nice to see.
Absolutely, and he, I love that the Rutgers Radio Network's letting him work there. He's getting great experience. It's something he said he wants to do in his career, and good for him. It's going to work out for him. Guys like him, he got the desire. More importantly, he has a great attitude, and that's what you need. He works hard every day, and it's a testament to Eric LeGrand. What a great person he is.
Yeah, did you see the shirts that the students wear, too, in the student section? I believe 52, his number. And they've really rallied around, which has been great.
Absolutely. You see him there with a Bucs jersey. And as you said, Greg Schiano signed him to a pro contract, which was just phenomenal. Class move by Schiano in the Tampa Bay Bucs organization.
Now working the radio broadcast right now for Rutgers, and an injured player down. That's Civil for Rutgers, Andre Civil. We've seen a couple of players banged up today. He's the right guard, starting right guard, the junior from Brooklyn, New York.
And a big thing for Kyle Flood and his team, you want to get out of this game healthy.
Right.
Because we talked about next week, Thursday night prime time against USF. Conference play starts, and boy, you start going hard then. And not that you're not going hard now, but boy, conference play really matters.
Well, and you're going to know that he's going to talk to his team about what has happened today in terms of being mentally focused and the unforced errors. You're not going to get away with that in Florida on Thursday night on the road.
Absolutely not with a conference opponent, and Kyle Flood said when he recruits people, it's about winning championships. There's three kind of championships: conference, bowls, and BCSs, and that's what he wants to do with his program.
Second down and 8 for Rutgers at the 35. Play action, Nova going deep over the middle, and it's off the defender. Intended for Coleman, and went off the back of Julian David. What's been most impressive for Rutgers that you talked about in terms of winning championships is they have won 5 straight bowl games, and only one other team has done that, Mississippi State.
Yeah, I mean, that's a testament to a great program to go to 5 straight and win 5 straight. That's a great job. And let me tell you, recruits see that. You know what I mean? They see that they want to come to winning programs. And, to go 9-4 last year, they won the New Era Pinstripe Bowl over Iowa State 27-13. That's considered a bowl championship, and that's a success for your team.
3 wide receivers set on 3rd down and 8. Pressure coming. Nova gets hit as he throws, and it's incomplete, intended for Harrison, and Howard was all over it. Josh Jordan right there on the spot, and the pressure came from DeCarlos Knight in the face of Gary Nova.
Well, DeCarlos Knight, he blitzes off the right side, and he does a good job getting to Nova, making him rush that pass.
Here's what Rutgers has done in those bowl games of the last 5 seasons. Look at the wins.
Phenomenal. They've done a great job. They get to the bowls, and it shows you how important it is to them. It doesn't matter what game it is, but it's a bowl game. It's a big deal to the program, and they've come out on top 5 straight times. That's a great job.
Dorner punts it away on 4th and 8. Brandon Flanagan, fair catch at the 26. 39-yard punt, and Howard takes over early in the 3rd, down 19-0.
Tell you the one thing the Rutgers offense is going to have to work on, though, is picking up those blitzes. You've seen a couple times today. Howard's has blitzed them, and it's thrown them off kilter.
Take a look at some of the notable games in the Big East coming up. As Rutgers early season off and running, but look at what they have coming up a little bit later. Number 8, Arkansas.
Yeah, big game against that. And whenever you can play a top 10 team, try to knock them off, that's a big deal for your program, and they're going to be up for that Arkansas game.
And next week, North Carolina, Louisville. That's a good one. A lot of great games on the schedule just here in week 2 right now, as the catch is made by David Wilson. And Jamal Merrill, another tackle for Rutgers, this catch for 9 yards.
Good job by Wilson. He'll sit down in the middle of the zone, make a good catch. And as you said, pick up 9 yards on 1st down. That's a success.
Seems like Cunningham has now found a guy that he can kind of rely on. That's the tight end.
Big tight end is a quarterback's best friend, especially when you're a young quarterback.
3 receivers, Freeman in the backfield. Blitz comes on, pass is overthrown, looking for Jonathan Booker. And that's one thing that Kyle Flood, the head coach of Rutgers, said to us, is that there's not one guy on the defense that doesn't get a chance to blitz.
Oh, absolutely. They went after him there. Booker ran that deep out, Cunningham tried to throw it, tried to get it timed up, but as we saw on the other side of the ball, when you can blitz a quarterback and make him throw it just a split second early, boy, it messes the timing all up.
Rutgers, the 14th ranked defense in the nation last year. Trying to build off that again this season. 3rd and 1. Aquinius Freeman, and he gets to the stick, and will he have enough? Yes, he will. Just across the 36, and it's a first down.
Hey, good job by Freeman to get that outside. You're going to see right in the middle of the screen, 94 Scott Vallone blows that play up. Freeman's good enough to bounce it outside. He takes a big hit, but he falls forward and picks up the first down.
Coach Gary Harrell seen his offense starting to pick it up a little bit. This is a dangerous pass over the middle and double coverage, knocked down by Kasheem Green.
Well, you talked about Cunningham having a big target in Wilson. The problem is that time Cunningham looked right at him the whole time, never came off him. The Rutgers defense is good enough to know he's going to try to go back there. They almost picked that one off.
Howard working quickly, and a fake by Cunningham as he has his man complete. That's the tight end Justin Boyd, and Boyd rumbles for a first at midfield. Finally, Marcus Cooper on the tackle, and that's a 14-yard pickup and a first down.
Yeah, nice little play here. He's going to fake it to Parker. He's going to start to run the ball. Let's see, make sure he throws it before the line of scrimmage. He's going for it. Boy, that's right on the line, but I think he's good. He threw it behind the line of scrimmage. It makes it a legal forward pass, and they get a nice pickup for the first down.
That's what I was thinking first time I saw it. And it's good. Now Cunningham to the sideline. The pass incomplete. Looking again for Booker. And Logan Ryan almost had a pick. He was all over the field last week for Rutgers. Solid job at the cornerback position.
But I like what Howard's doing. They're running some different plays than we saw in the first half, and they're stretching the field, and that's loosening up the Rutgers defense just a bit where they can get some manageable distances here with yard pickup.
2 receivers on each side. Actually, one of them's the back, and that's Freeman, who takes the carry and goes inside the 40 and is close to another first down for Howard. And Marcus Cooper, another stop for the Rutgers Scarlet Knights, just shy of the first down.
Well, and we're going to see it. That's that speed sweep we saw. It got blown up earlier in the game. Freeman does a good job there. He breaks a tackle at the line of scrimmage and gets upfield, and he's just short of the first down.
Aquinius Freeman, who's getting the load of the carries with Terrence LaFall still out due to suspension. Their top running back. Now they give to the fullback, Justin Duncan, and Kasheem Green stops him, but not before he has enough for the first.
Yeah, nice little drive here by Howard. They're putting it together. They're getting a couple first downs. They're mixing the plays up. I like it. They're keeping Rutgers a little off balance, and good job by Jamie Cunningham running this offense.
Look at that, 15 yards in the first half. They already have 56 here in the second. Pressure, Cunningham, he's sacked. Look out. And Green does it again.
Yeah, Kasheem Green, we talked about him in the open. It's like he shot out of a cannon. Watch this. Cunningham hesitates just a little bit right here, and boom. Green beats the block and gets the sack. That's one thing with a team this fast. Boy, Cunningham as a quarterback, you hesitate just a little bit, and boy, Green's like a cannon. He's going to take you down.
Coming into the game with over 250 career tackles, 40 more, puts him in the top 10 in Rutgers history. This pass almost intercepted. That's Bo Harness, the middle linebacker, hanging back. Helmet's starting to get a little beat up there, huh? The brand new helmets.
Yeah, I mean, usually, you know, when it's grass and the mud, you see that, but you're starting to see it on Bo Harness's helmet in this field turf. But that's called putting the wood to people. He's smacking a lot of people out there today.
Well, they put Howard in 3rd down and 17 from the 45. 4 receivers. Cunningham steps up, but will not get away. Brought down by Khalil Glaude on the tackle, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, good job by Glaude. He has upfield pressure. It forced Cunningham out of the pocket. Glaude never stopped on the play, continued with it. Cunningham thought he had a running lane, and he makes his sack. You see Glaude at the top of your screen. He beats the big tackle there, 79, Davin Morris, and he stays with the play and makes the big tackle. Great job there by Glaude.
Robinson back to return. And makes the catch inside the 10 at the 8 and is pushed out by Jacob Jordan Monette. 36-yard kick. We're coming back. Rutgers on top 19-0 over Howard in the third.
Listen up, America.
Linebacker Kasim Green for the Rutgers Scarlet Knights, leading up the defense as they lead at 19-0. He's also nominated for the All-State Good Works team, a very prestigious award given to someone not only for their work on the field, but in the classroom and especially in the community, Rini.
Well, it's such a tribute to Kasim Green. As great as a ball player he is on the field, he's even a better person off the field. You know, to be nominated for the All-State Good State team, it's phenomenal. The Good Works team, Kasim Green, it's just a tribute to what a great young man he is, and it goes hand in hand. It's going to help him on the field as well. Kudos to him.
Rutgers back on offense. And they'll go to Jamison, and he'll get across the 15, and we have a flag down.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 13, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Jamison, who ripped off that 62-yard run early in the first half to set up their first touchdown.
Yeah, good run there, and they're going to attack the 15 on top of it. I tell you, referee Todd LaPenta, he's going to be resting his vocal cords after this game because there's been a lot of penalties in this game.
And Coach Gary Harrell in his second season, fourth at Howard. One of their best receivers all time back when he was a player. Trying to get his defense fired up now as the offense had started to move the ball. First and 10 at the 31. And back to the ground. Keith Pugh on the tackle of Jamison once again. They have those two backs for Rutgers, Jawan Jamison and Savon Huggins, and that's really it. They just go with those two. We talked to Coach Kyle Flood about it, and he's got a great 1-2 combination with those two sophomores.
Yeah, he likes those two. He's going to split the load between both of them, and they're both very capable backs. As you said, Kyle Flood likes both of them, and they are going to get basically all the carries this year for Rutgers.
Jamison from Stark, Florida, and Huggins from Jackson, New Jersey. 2nd and 9, low snap, Gary Nova. He's going to dump it over the middle, and he's got Jamison. He's got the first down. Jamison, head down into Howard territory, and another flag thrown.
Great job by Nova there. Stepped up. It looked like he was going to run. He saw Jamison. He dumps it off. Jamison does a good job to get outside. It looks like at the end of that run, we're going to have a block in the back, though. It should be a first down, and then the penalty should be assessed after that.
There is no foul for illegal block in the back. First down.
Well, you had the call exactly right. They just picked it up.
It's a good job by the officials. We're going to look at it. Nova picks it up. He doesn't panic, which is good. He steps up in the pocket. He dumps it. You're going to see at the end of this play, it looks like a block in the back. But what the referees talked about, if the defender kind of turns, they'll pick it up, the flag. We saw it there at the end. It was close. They talked. I like that. They picked it up, and the play stands.
Well, he looked calm, and he didn't panic, Nova, the quarterback, because he had tons of time.
Yeah, he absolutely did. The offensive line did a great job there.
Offset eye to Jamison. Finds a hole, gets inside the 40, and inside the 35. Took a couple of guys to bring him down. Keith Pugh was one of them alongside of Julian David. It's an 8-yard run for Jamison.
Yeah, Pugh was holding on in there, but Jamison, you see he never stops running here. We're going to see it's a lead play off right. You see the fullback get out there. Burton throws a good block, and Jamison never stops. Pugh holding on for dear life. Julian David comes in there. But good job by Jamison to keep those feet moving and pick up a big 8 yards on first down.
2nd down and 2. Michael Burton is the fullback. And he'll get the call. And he'll have the first. And the bruising sophomore from Long Valley, New Jersey at 230 pounds moves the sticks. Julian David on the tackle.
Well, you love to see that. The play before, Michael Burton, a big fullback. He has a nice kick-out block for his tailback, Jawan Jamison. Then they feed him. Give him a little love. Give him the ball there. Let him get a little taste of the ball, running with it. Good job by Burton there, picking up the first down. He almost broke it, Mike.
I was going to say, he's been working hard today. Michael Burton, Sam Bergen is the backup, 44. But Burton pretty much carrying the load in that position. Jamison again. Look at a bump outside. Shed tacklers and gets the first down. Just a sophomore, Rainey. You got to like the athleticism.
Well, watch him here as a former running back. I love his feet. The play starts to the left. It gets blown up. He keeps his balance. He bounces it to the right. He gets off a tackler and watch the feet work here. Whoop, he puts it down, and he just keeps going. That's what you love about your running backs. Don't stop. He's never done. He's never out of the play. He pushes off a defender there. He gets upfield. Really good footwork there, and he makes something out of nothing. Great run there by Juwan Jamison.
Took a ton of guys to bring him down. An 11-yard run. There are his numbers today. Over 100 yards once again, and now that is 4 in the last 5 games for Juwan Jamison, rushing for over 100 yards.
And I'm not great in math, but boy, 103 yards rushing on only 9 carries. That's a great job by Jamison.
Last week it was 112 carries, or 112 yards on 18 carries. Curtis Simmons is shaken up for Howard, 21.
But I like what Rutgers is doing here. They're really pounding it at him. They know they got Howard on their heels here. They're trying to control the line of scrimmage, which they're doing a great job at, and their backs are hitting it hard in there north and south, and they're methodically moving down the field here.
Jamison still in at tailback. Wide receiver split with Coleman and Harrison. They go to Harrison, and he can't get by the tacklers. Finally, he'll be brought down for a loss. Thought he was going to shed a couple, which he did, but Howard defensively playing tough.
No, I mean, they try to get the quick hitter there to Harrison, but Julian David, but they come up, and they do a good job on these receivers. They corral them, and once your momentum starts going backwards, forget about it. The defense had very good pursuit there, and they had a big loss there. Rutgers on offense. Good job by the Howard defense.
Loss of 6. 3 minutes to go in the third. And Jamison. Let him push the pile. 6-yard run. Getting the yards lost back on that play.
Yeah, and good call. I mean, 2nd and long, you try to pop a little draw play in there. You never know if Jamison breaks it, but you get it back. It's 3rd and 10, but it's obviously more manageable than it was at 2nd and 16.
Now Rutgers using clock, winding the game down. 3rd and 10 here. But doing what they need to do as Gary Nova, the sophomore quarterback, will go from the shotgun. And he's going to the end zone. And wide open and making the catch. Coleman, is he in? Yes, touchdown. Brandon Coleman, his 2nd of the day.
And a great job by Coleman there. He runs a corner route. He beats the defender. Nova sits in a pocket. You're going to see it here. He gives him time to clear the defender. He throws a nice ball there. As Coleman gets there, he juggles it here, but does a good job securing it there. 1 foot, 2 foot just for good measure. Good job there for the touchdown.
See the guys with the cannon are saying, get out of the way.
They want
to fire the cannon. Touchdown, heads up. And this extra point kick is good by Kyle Federico, the true freshman kicker, and it's now 26-0 Rutgers.
So very impressed with Brandon Coleman. Has the body of a tight end, but he runs like a wide receiver. He beats the defender there, and Rutgers is up 26-0. We'll be back to Piscataway after this.
Howard, 1992 HBCU champions, and on that squad, Gary Harrell and Jay Skywalker. Gary Flea Harrell, head coach.
Yeah, and Jay Walker, one of our colleagues here at ESPN, who's a great analyst himself. They played together, and they had an incredible career together.
5th all-time in school history for receiving and punt returns, Gary Flea Harrell, and the school record for most receptions, 184. How about that 11-0 season in 1993 when they lost to eventual champion Marshall in the playoffs?
And in 2005, Gary Flea Harrell was inducted into the Howard Hall of Fame. Just a great honor for a great athlete, former player, and now the head man leading this program.
Played for the Giants from 94 to 96, the Frankfurt Galaxy there in NFL Europe. Now, you were over there for a little bit as well.
Been there, done that, yeah. Played for the Galaxy myself.
I broadcasted a few games over there, too.
Yeah.
2 seasons in Canada for the Flea, and made his coaching debut at Howard actually back in 2002. He was a wide receiver coach for a couple of years, then went to Texas Southern, Florida A&M, Morgan State, and now has come back as last year his first year, and here in his second as the head coach.
He's got great experience coaching. He's been to a bunch of places, and he's got a bunch of experience as a player. Those two combined together, it's going to make him a very good head coach.
William Parker runs it out and gets across the 20 to the 22. Steve Boharnis on the tackle for Rutgers, and Howard takes over with less than 2 minutes to go in the third.
And we've called Boharnis' name all day long on defense, and we asked Coach Kyle Flood. He says, look, I play my best players on special teams.
Right.
I don't rest them if they're a starter on defense and or offense. My best 11 get out on the field, and that's very important. That's one of the reasons their special teams is as good as it is.
Yeah, exactly. They've scored now 11 touchdowns on special teams. We saw it on the blocked punt earlier. And exactly right. He talks about that as being one of the facets of the game that's so important to winning or losing ball games.
Most definitely is.
Cunningham, pressure, gets rid of it. It's caught. Justin Duncan, the fullback, takes a huge hit from Green and keeps going up to the 29-yard line. 3 yards shy of a first down, 7-yard pickup. And Logan Ryan had the initial hit, and Green as well.
Well, watch it. You see Cunningham, the play action, he rolls out. He breaks this tackle to avoid a sack. Knows he's going to get walloped. He does, but he still has a presence of mind to complete the pass to Duncan. Great job there by Jamie Cunningham, the freshman quarterback.
Sends Jonathan Booker in motion. That's a delay of Freeman. Aquanius Freeman has the first down and more across the 45 to the 47. Miles Jackson for Rutgers with a tackle, but a 16-yard run. And if you're Rutgers, Randy, you have to think, well, let's not lay back here. I know it's 26-0, but there's a lot to learn for next week.
You cannot take the foot off the pedal if you're Rutgers defense. That's that little draw play that they hit earlier in the game. They're going back to it again. It's been pretty successful for Howard.
Back to Freeman. Some traffic, and a flag is thrown as he gets up close to midfield.
Penalty marker down.
Holding offense, number 79, 10-yard penalty, first down.
And Howard's had their own issues with a flag today as well.
Well, Big Davin Morris, the left tackle, 79. He's a big kid, 6'6", 310. But Rutgers is so fast off the ball and so powerful. Well, they've been bull rushing him, moving him back into the backfield, taking him to the ball carriers, and he was holding on for dear life that time, and he got called for holding.
Under a minute to go in the third. Pretty experienced offensive line for Howard. They have 4 seniors out of the mix, 1 junior.
Well, and Scott Vallone, as we look at him there, this is his 40th consecutive start, which is an amazing stat for Vallone.
And they've had their hands full, that's for sure. Pass is caught by Parker on first down, but first and 20 and not much. Jamal Merrill on the tackle for Rutgers, and that should take us to the end of the third. Rutgers is 8-0 all-time versus schools from the MEAC. The last 6 meetings since 2006, they've outscored the competition 277-14. All-time, they've had 4 shutouts. Howard actually kind of hanging in there with this one, although it is 26-0 Rutgers with 15 minutes left on their way to 2-0 if the weather holds out here today in Piscataway, New Jersey. Back with more in the home opener for the Scarlet Knights right after this.
If you owe
A Rutgers defense with 8 returning starters has been money today.
Well, you see Kevin Snyder here, the linebacker, get to Cunningham for the sack. Great play by Snyder. And then that speed sweep at Jamal Merrill meets Freeman, the running back, in the backfield. And here, Cunningham rolls out, and Kasim Green, the preseason All-American Big East Defensive Player of the Year, meets Cunningham in the backfield for the big sack.
A lot of speed on that Rutgers D as they lead it 26-0. Howard now on offense with a new quarterback. It's Randy Liggins Jr. who hands off to Freeman, and he'll pick up about 4 on first down. for the Howard Bison. So Randy Liggins Jr., the QB, the junior from Bray, California, is in, who was the starter last week, was benched in the third, and now has come back. Last week, Reenie, he was 6 of 10 for 132 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, he's a capable quarterback. Look, he was the starter. He lost his composure a little bit, but boy, you know he's biting at the bit here to get in this game and show what he can do. He wants to win the starting job back.
And it's really a decision for Gary Harrell, who said that he would like to redshirt Jamie Cunningham. So there's only a certain amount of games. You know, you can't play in too many games to be redshirted. You know, it's like I think 1/3. You know, or under that.
It's coming up this next game, this third game. So a decision will have to be made.
Liggins just throws it into the ground. Nobody open, facing major pressure. And that's what Howard's had to deal with all day.
Well, and Liggins shows you his experience there. He throws it away, but he throws it to the feet of the receiver. If you try to lob that over a defensive lineman, boy, more times than not, that thing can get picked off.
And they're going to cart off Jamie Cunningham, the quarterback for Howard. You see the ice around the right ankle. His afternoon done. The freshman punter John Fleck is back on. Mason Robinson from the 17. And gets up across the 20. About a 5-yard return for Robinson. It seems like they've called off the troops in terms of the punting there, as they blocked one earlier for Rutgers.
Yeah, no, it was a nice punt and good coverage by the Howard special teams there.
Take a look at some national news and notes around the country this week in college football.
Well, we saw Connor Shaw against Vanderbilt, opening game of the year, hurt that shoulder, and boy, he's not going to start today against East Carolina. North Dakota State, you see players charged there, not a good thing at all. And you see sources are saying 4 Georgia defensive starters out versus Missouri. Missouri's new to the SEC as well. And if you're Georgia, you do not want to lose players for that game.
Now for Rutgers, Ben Martin carries, brought down by Julian David. He has an 11-yard run for a first down, and Martin gets a little bit of action today for the Scarlet Knights.
Well, good job by Martin. He shows you his burst there, and that's the thing we talk about, depth. You know, Rutgers takes their stars up, but they put these other kids in that are reserves, but these kids were all, you know, all everything in high school. They come in, they're going to run hard, and unfortunately for Howard, Rutgers, schools like this, they just keep loading them up with good talent.
High formation set again to Martin. And Ben Martin shows a burst, gets across the 40, and is 2 yards shy of a first down.
And you know, Mike, we talked about how Kyle Flood said the majority of the carries are going to Jawan Jamison and Savon Huggins. But I tell you what, Martin says, you know what? This is my time to shine. I got a cord here. I'm going to run hard. I'm going to try to break the lineup and get in and get some playing time. And you never know. Kyle Flood could look at the film at the end of this game and say, you know what? I got a third back I can rely on.
I was just going to say, redshirted freshman and Ben Martin. It's good to get him some time. Now they'll give to the fullback, and that's Michael Burton. Trying to pick up just 2 yards for a first down. Keep the clock moving and the chains moving. It's going to be a little bit shy.
I love it when those big fullbacks get to carry the ball, Mike. I said that earlier. 6 foot 230. Well, I wasn't 6 foot 230. I was more like 5'10", 205. I was a miniature.
We just saw.
I was a tweener. They called me.
Tweener?
I wasn't a fullback and I wasn't a tailback. I was a tweener. I was kind of between both.
Saw some old pictures of you today in the UMass uniform.
I looked a little different, didn't I?
You did. And a third down run. Again, going to be a little bit shy here as Martin stops shy. Martin from Galloway, New Jersey, 185 pounds, 5'11", and there you see Keith Pugh. Pugh, who's been huge for Howard defensively over the years on the stop.
Well, and a great job there by Howard. Pugh and DeCarlos Knight, they come up. These kids aren't stopping. They're down 26. They're not quitting. They're playing hard. That was a 3rd and short from Rutgers. Not only do they stop them, they get a TFL.
Justin Dorner gets it away for Rutgers. Brandon Flanagan will let it go. And watches it bounce to the 15-yard line. And that's where Howard will take over. Down 26-0. 45-yard kick from Dorner as Rutgers leads it big in the 4th. Rutgers getting the job done this afternoon, leading 26-0 over Howard as you look at some of the other scores from around the Big East today.
Well, that Nevada-South Florida game, boy, it's a tight one, 28-20 in the fourth. We see USC and Syracuse delayed because of weather issues. North Carolina State with a big win over UConn out of the Big East as well today.
And people are saying Syracuse, weather issues. Well, that game's being played in the Meadowlands, so it's not too far away from here. And not having the same luck as we are with this game continuing to move.
I told you as a junior meteorologist, I knew this cell was going to move, and it just moved enough, about 30 miles to the Meadowlands, and it's going to let us finish our game. No delays here.
Go affect the Syracuse game.
There you go.
Said. Quarterback Randy Liggins Jr. is in for Howard. Second down and 10 at the 15. And a delay handoff to Freeman. And losing yardage on that play. The tackle by Miles Jackson for Rutgers defensively. So many special players back on defense for Rutgers, a team that was 14th nationally in defense last year, 8 starters back. Kyle Flood, the head coach, what was great about what he said is that he was here for 7 years as an assistant, so that when he came and became the head coach, the transition was easy.
It's seamless. It really is. I mean, it's philosophy. We asked him, how much stuff changed from Shiano to you? He said, not much. He tweaked it a little bit, but for all intents and purposes, the program's running as it was under Shiano.
They go to Parker on third down and long, and he's going to get the first down. William Parker down the sideline for Howard and across midfield to the Rutgers 48-yard line. And the true freshman from Stone Mountain, Georgia, rips off a big one for a first down, 37 yards.
Yeah, we'll take a look at it. Good job. It's that backdoor draw. They ran it, the hole open in the middle, and Parker does a good job getting it to the outside, picking up 37 yards on a run. And I love that these kids aren't quitting. Boy, they're still going hard every play. Good job by Howard there.
Roll out from Liggins as the receiver, Jonathan Booker, knocked out at the 43-yard line. 3 yards shy, make it 5 yards shy of another first down for Howard.
Really nice throw there by Randy Liggins Jr. You see him rolling out to his left, right-handed. He throws a strike to his receiver, Booker, and they got a nice pickup on first down. You see they're getting that pace going.
2 backs, 3 receivers on 2nd and 5. And this time it goes to Jaron Brown, and he's going to be dropped for a loss on the play by Wayne Warren of Rutgers. Jaron Brown is a senior from Upper Marlboro, Maryland, actually a transfer from Navy. Had 5 carries last week for 9 yards.
Yeah, and Warren just walked up from his free safety position, was really unblocked to the backfield to make the play there.
Brown, who missed all of last year with an injury, now seeing some action here today, and he has the carry and he has the first. And Jaron Brown finally brought down inside of the 40-yard line. And Marcus Cooper makes the tackle for Rutgers. See if Howard can get some points on the board here late in this ball game with 6.5 to go.
Well, it's a pride thing. You don't want to get shut out. This offense wants to go on and put some points. And, I mean, they're playing with a sense of urgency here. You like to see this out of Howard.
Fullback Darren Christie is in. Brown, the tailback, gets the call again. And dragging a couple of Rutgers defenders now. Just outside of the 30-yard line, a 5-yard run. Flag down.
Shot block. Offense, number 62. 15-yard penalty. First down.
It was about time for Todd LaPenta to get back into the mix.
And this is another point of emphasis here. These chop blocks, they're looking at. Now, normally, between the tackle box, if you're going forward, you can cut a person. But they caught Joshua Matt. Let's look at the right part of the screen. And I'm going to tell you why it's a personal foul. You see, Bush Johnson was engaged with him up high. The cut block came in by Matthews underneath. That is a personal foul. You can't do it. That's always been a personal foul. Good job there by the umpire to see that. It's a dangerous play. Good job. That was a good call by the umpire.
Yes, it was. From the 49 now, it's 1st and 25. Liggins goes deep, incomplete. Looking for Brandon Flanagan. Sam Bergen was on coverage for Rutgers. Second down, 25. Motion goes Boyd. Catch made by the tight end and just got stuck on the spot. Wilson on the catch and Marcus Cooper on the tackle.
Great read by Cooper. He's going to drop off in coverage. He sees the receiver coming underneath the route. He drops off the receiver and he comes up and puts a big hit on the receiver. And you're going to see it again. You're going to hear it too. Wow, hit by Cooper. Great recognition though of what happened. Dropped off the receiver going on the field and comes up and makes a big hit on the underneath receiver, Wilson.
3rd and 23, and Parker won't be able to do what he did last time. Brought down, and Kevin Snyder makes a stop for Rutgers, and it's punt time for Howard with 4:49 to go, and Parker's a little shaken up.
Yeah, and really Howard had a nice drive going. It's that personal foul, that cut block with the offensive line engaged, and the cut really set them back. But, you know, they've moved the ball today in spurts, so, you know, Coach Gary Harrell will have some good things to look at on film.
John Fleck to send it deep once again. And a fair catch called for and made by Mason Robinson. We will return with 4:17 left in this one. Rutgers on top 26-0.
Endless pools are an incredible alternative to traditional pools, making it easy and
the fans braving the weather here today at High Point Solutions Stadium in Piscataway, New Jersey, as Rutgers leads it 26-0 over Howard. And you know, to start off, I mean, this place is electric. I mean, there's over 50,000 that were on hand today in this home opener for Rutgers as they're back on offense. And when we had talked to head coach Kyle Flood earlier in the week, he said he was really looking forward to coming out here in the home opener, first year as head coach, and they support their team here at Rutgers. There's a lot of good fans here.
Yeah, the turnout was phenomenal. Of course, the weather got really bad there around halftime, which sent a lot of folks home, but there's a good amount of people braving it, staying out. They want to see this team officially get off to a 2-0 start in this 2012 season.
Chaz Dodd is in it now at quarterback for Rutgers. Number 19, the junior from Lyman, South Carolina. And Ben Martin has been getting a few carries for the Scarlet Knights late in this ball game. 3rd string running back for them. Coach Kyle Flood.
And the big thing for Coach Flood here, he just wants to run the ball, grind this clock out this last 3 minutes and 16 seconds, and get out of here with no one hurt and get into conference play.
1993 graduate of Iona. Was at Hofstra from 97 to 2001. I knew him well when he was at Delaware. Was doing radio for them from 2002 to 2005 before coming here to Rutgers. And just a solid guy. You know, he's just very easy to get along with. The guy that, you know, preaches discipline and stuff. And he's going to go back and look at this tape, of course, of what happened today with penalties. But, you know, a guy that gets it done in his own quiet way.
Yeah, and I mean, sometimes we talk to coaches in our job, and sometimes some are hard to talk to. Kyle Flood isn't like that.
Right.
Very easy to talk to as an analyst. It's great. He's open. He answers questions. And it's a pleasure to talk to coaches like Kyle Flood.
He's been an offensive line coach for numerous years. And when we had talked to him, he said, you know, this is my first Division I, you know, coaching job. And to realize what goes on at this level to build a program. And he has tremendous experience now.
He was the O-line coach at Delaware. You talked about that. He came here as an assistant, was an O-line coach. Now he's running the program. He said he delegates a lot. He lets his coordinators call the games, offense and defense, but he has the final say when it comes to major decisions with the team.
Martin on the carry. Coming up on 2 minutes left in this one for Rutgers.
And Kyle Flood also said it's very important as a head coach to surround yourself with good people. He said he's got great assistants, he's got great support staff, and it's so very true. As a head man, and he said he didn't realize how much stuff he had to do as the head coach. It's not just coaching. There's a ton of stuff you have to do. So you have to have good assistants underneath you, and he's really pleased with the staff he's put together.
Well, yeah, and the coaches that he's worked with have been at their respective schools for a long time. You know, Joe Gardy at Hofstra, Casey Keeler at Delaware, Greg Schiano, of course, here at Rutgers. I mean, they've been there for 10 years plus, all three of them.
Well, he talked about it. He's taken a little something from all those great coaches you just mentioned, and he's his own coach. He's tweaked it his way, but he's learned from some great coaches, and I was very impressed with Kyle Flood yesterday.
Second down for the Scarlet Knights. He's trying to run out the clock here with Ben Martin. As Curtis Simmons brings him down for Howard. It's a first down.
Well, I told you Martin's going to run hard. You know, he wants to show Coach Flood, hey, you got a third back here. You can put me in. You can rely on me. And he's running hard. Believe me, Howard's not stopping in this game, and neither is Martin. He is trying to show Coach Flood that he can get out there and play and be productive when conference play starts next week, and he's doing a good job today.
Well, I'll tell you what, other than the penalties, Rutgers did what they had to do today. Coach Flood talked about blocking a punt and did exactly that. Their defense has been stellar, obviously.
Yeah, really, the penalties. We saw the botched extra point, miss snap,
right,
and the two-point conversion. So there's a few things that he's going to work on. The biggest thing and most glaring thing, obviously, is the penalties. They cleaned it up in the second half for the most part. They still had a couple. In the first half, it was nuts, but he's still going to get after him.
Alongside of Dave Brock as offensive coordinator his first season, and Rob Smith, the defensive coordinator, has been at Rutgers for 4 years, first as the defensive coordinator. As Martin runs again, Julian David on the tackle for Howard as we approach the minute mark left in this one. And head coach for Howard, Gary Harrell. You know, who, again, in this type of ball game, you know, you come in, you're not expected, obviously, to win the ball game. You're probably expected to get blown out. You know, they didn't really get destroyed here today.
No, they played their tails off. They never quit. You know, in pockets, they did good things. Listen, this game's going to help them when they start the MEAC conference. There's no doubt about it. They're 1-1. They're in a good place. Coach Gary Harrell will have them competing for a MEAC championship.
And Martin will be brought down for a loss in the backfield. And the tackle by DeCarlos Knight for Howard. And yeah, Howard has some special coaches too. Gary Harrell and Ted White, their offensive coordinator, and Rayford Perry, the defensive coordinator. They've all been around the block as well. But just not enough today against a stout Rutgers team defensively leading the charge. And head coach Kyle Flood in his first season as head coach is now 2-0, leading the Scarlet Knights in their home opener with a win today, 26-0.
Pretty much Rutgers did what they needed to do. The most important thing is they're 2-0. They're ready to go for conference play next week against USF. Boy, this Big East Conference should be a shootout this year.
It's going to be a short week for them, too. South Florida on Thursday night at 7:30 for the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. That's what's coming up next. They got it done today, though, at home from Piscataway, New Jersey, at High Point Solutions Stadium, braving the weather. It held out, and Rutgers knocks off Howard by a final score of 26-0. For Reedy and Golia, our entire crew, I'm Mike Corey saying so long from Piscataway, New Jersey. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend, everybody.
I love cash back.
With the Bank Americard Cash Rewards credit card,
We earn more cash